Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we're here for another live GP weekly roundup here on MotoGP 24. So as I did last week, I'm just going to show you the highlights of all of the live GP races that I have done this week, so I hope you do enjoy. So on to the first race of the week, and you can see we're here at Bud in the rain, and this one was a bit of a nightmare, I'm not going to lie to you. Here we are obviously in qualifying, going into the first corner of our first lap. The rear comes round, the front tucks, and down we go at turn 1. And here we are on the next attempt at turn 1. You can see somebody else is off there. And again, another crash. This time, definitely more on the front end than the previous one. Here we go, another crash. Actually, I don't think it's going to be a crash. It's a crash for another rider. Yellow flag, invalid lap. So kind of just showing how unlucky I was in this qualifying session. Here we are into turn 3 on another lap as well. Are we going to lose the front? Yes, we are. And you can see it goes straight back to the pits there on that occasion. And again, cutting a few minutes later, we've only got 4 minutes left in the session at this point. Once again, at this corner, another yellow flag, invalid lap. And to be honest, I don't even think in this video I show you all the laps where I crashed or got an invalidation. And here we are again, 3 minutes to go now. So really running out of time in the session. We still haven't got a lap in. And you can see going into turn 1, rider in front crashes. So we lose our lap because of the yellow flag, but we also crash as well on the front end. And finally, you can see here, I think this must be basically our only attempt at a natural lap, because you can see we are actually 3 attempts personal best. But look here, look at the fuel, plus 0.0 laps as we're coming through the last corner. And we come out the last corner with the ride-out device, so you can see we run out of fuel and we're rolling towards the line. Someone comes past us, long lap penalty impeding for me, and there you go, crossing the line. But milestone putting the line in the wrong position means we don't make it. And in fact, we don't even get over the line. So not only did we not get a lap in, we got a long lap penalty for validating past that rider. And you saw another rider come fly through at the end. And I also got one for actually impeding him, supposedly. Even though I wasn't in the way of either of them, was ghosted and wasn't even on the racing line. But there you go, 11th place on the grid for our first live GP race of the week. So did 469 up there in second place as well. So keep an eye on how he gets on in this race. But the lights are on then, waiting for this race to start here at the Bud International Circuit. Holding for quite a while, lights out, away we go. And my tactic for this one was just going to try and hold back into turn 1, because I was at the back anyway. Let all the carnage unfold as you go to turn 1. People breaking late. Not sure how that guy in 11th place stayed on the bike there. Someone off on the outside, somebody on the inside down, a gas down. So picked up 3 positions already up to P9 through turn 1. Actually, it's only 2 places, isn't it? Because we lost a place on the run into turn 1. Up the inside of somebody else, up into P8, into the tricky little hairpin. So far we've stayed on quite a few riders down there. And we're up now into P5. So, to be fair, pretty decent start to the race. We're behind Vlad 46, who was actually the guy behind us on the grid, because he also didn't get a lap in. I guess his lap got invalidated, the one that he did, where we actually got a long lap penalty for impeding him, even though, of course, we're on the straight. Weren't on the racing line out the way, but the game CG stopped, of course, and gives you the penalty. A little bit of action going on a bit further up. I think Grassini Ducati, that is, in the lead off the track. Vlad off the track as well on the outside of that corner. Just how treacherous these conditions were. It was absolutely ridiculous. It's one of these things. I hadn't done any wet running in the GP bikes yet. A Pramac Ducati EP Cat almost hits us at the back and goes down. And yeah, in this game, in the MotoGP class, the wet weather just feels pretty poor. The front end is very, very poor. You saw the amount of crashes I have in qualifying. Very unlike me to crash that often. And you won't be seeing that in the dry conditions, that's for sure. But either way, still been a pretty good first lap. You can see that Grassini Ducati that was briefly leading is down to 3rd place, obviously, because he ran wide. He's ran wide again as well there, so Vlad is probably going to get the run on him towards the chicane. Yes, he does. So Vlad up into P3, although almost a little bit of contact between the two of them. And we go through turn 10. They're both wide. Vlad crashes out there, so we're back up into 4th. Well, not back up. We're up into 4th place. Again, this Grassini Ducati rider, does he actually want to stay on the track at all? And again, actually, goes up at the penultimate turn. So there you go then. That actually puts us up into the podium after the first race, after the first lap, should I say. And we're already 2.6 seconds, 2.8 seconds now behind the rider in front, because you can see, oh, and up the inside goes the Grassini rider. He probably picks us up. I think he came from downtown New Delhi to do that one, but also we lose another position at the last corner as well to that Pramac Ducati rider. I think he was the guy that was on pole position actually, but he comes past us as a result of that move. And as I'm saying all that, the race leader goes down at turn 1, and so do we as well. Again, another crash. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I was doing wrong in this session. Still don't know, even watching the footage back. You can see cutting a little bit later on lap 2 as well there. Again, front end goes, down we go. You can see, even when I'm not crashing, the bike is all over the place. We're struggling so much. That guy's just taken the F1 layout through there. I don't know if he was avoiding a bike or whether he just made a mistake, but that seemed a little bit weird. That is the old Formula 1 version of the track. And we get punted here by Vlad and the Ducati across the track, and track limits warning, because, of course, I definitely cut that corner. I definitely gained so much time from that. Definitely worthy of a warning. A few corners later now into the penultimate turn. And again, what am I doing wrong? Why am I crashing here? The front end just seems to tuck for no reason. The rear just seems to maybe push the front now. The only thing I could think of was when watching this back is that maybe I'm on the medium front, a soft rear there. Maybe it's kind of... Oh, we've just been absolutely rammed on the back there. So I was talking about the tyres. Well, lap 4 there, we get punted off by Private Ducati. That Grassini guy, again, is off the track and in the gravel this time. So we've overtaken him back up into 7th place. But yeah, this... Raf Kirate guys absolutely destroyed us, and again another crash on lap 5 for us through turn 5, so pretty disastrous race here in live GP so far, but somehow we're back on the back of this guy again, even though we've just crashed, and again we get picked up by the Grassini guy at the last corner. This time, well, I say this time he didn't come from off track, I don't know, because I didn't see the corner before, and shockingly, later on the next lap, he's off track again, and we've actually got the run on him this time. He blows turn 10 there, he runs really, really wide. We're on the inside. Are we going to get the switch back through turn 11? He goes wide there as well, and yes, we do, up into P6 on the penultimate lap of the race. Surely we're not going to crash into here, hopefully no. There's been a crash with somebody else in front on a private Ducati, so is that going to promote us up into P5? Yes, it does. That would be a fantastic result in this race, considering all the troubles that we've had. So we break into the hairpin on lap 3 on this final lap of the race. Just happy for the race to almost be over. We get a little bit of contact there from the Prambit behind. It gives us a bit of a nudge. And you can see we come across him a little bit there, veer across him, squeeze him a little bit after that contact. We'll go side by side down the straight. In fact, we're actually pulling on him a little bit, which is a surprise because I'm in the default settings. So maybe he had the power mode a bit lower because of the wet conditions. But to be honest, I wasn't struggling too much on the exits. But look at that on the brakes. Outclasses me because even though I had all these crashes in the race, I wasn't pushing. I couldn't push any harder because I was crashing at every corner if I pushed any harder. So just had to bring it on home. And here you go, up towards the line. Seems like we did manage to bring it home in 6th place. Not sure if we're actually going to get that on track. I think we are, because even with those 2 time penalties, it doesn't really matter too much. It looks like the guy in front of us had 2 time penalties as well, because he only beat us by, what, 1.2 of a second, or 1.1 of a second, should I say. So 6th place, after all those crashes, not too bad. 30 seconds off the race winner, so we were close to not finishing there, and I think at one point we were more than 40 seconds behind, and of course, unsurprisingly, we actually lose 16 points from that one. But what a terrible race it was. It was absolutely horrendous. Wet conditions, really not feeling good in this game at all, and just throughout qualifying in the race, just had so many crashes, and I wasn't, like I said, wasn't pushing over the limit, just the crashes were coming even when I wasn't trying, and I was fighting the bike constantly, even on the laps where I didn't. But anyway, moving on from that poor weekend at Bud, or poor race at Bud, we're here in Qatar for the second race of the weekend. You can see you joining me at the end of my first qualifying lap. Coming up towards the line, what is this going to be? 1 minute 52.610. So a pretty good time, very similar I think to what we were doing in career mode, but you can see back in the pits now, 3 minutes left in the session. Actually decided to try the soft combination because I'd heard that does work quite well here, and here you are right at the end of the session, a minute to go. Also was line 9/10 underneath our lap time. What's it going to be over the line? 1 minute 51.708, which was only actually good enough for P3 out of 4, but you know what, the 2 guys in front of us, Dill, obviously you guys know, is very, very fast. Don't know about the other guy, but he does seem pretty rapid as well. Only half a second off there in 2nd place. And then we're all 4 seconds clear of Furby in 3rd. So hopefully, should be a guaranteed podium for this one. But cutting to the race now then. The lights are on. Waiting for them to go here at Qatar for this live GP. Holding for quite a while, as always. Lights out and away we go. And off the line, it's not been a good start for us on the KTM there. The gas bike, actually, of Furby has jumped up to 2nd place on the run down towards turn 1. Braking quite early, as I tend to do in these races, so I don't absolutely barrel into anyone through turn 1. And you can see we're still actually 4th place coming out of turn 1, which is not what I wanted at all, especially considering how far off the pace Furby is there. That's a proper massive moment on the front end as we went through turn 2. We tried to have a little look up the inside of Furby, weren't able to do it, but this time he gets on the curve there through turn 3, allows us to get the switch back, and there we are up into the podium positions, which is what we desperately need after that race at Bud. But to be honest, these guys I know are quicker, so my strategy was to try and get in front of them as quick as possible. And you can see we are looking pretty quick on the back of Dill here. Dill looking pretty quick on the back of the Aprilia rider as well as we go through turn 6. It's probably one of my stronger corners on this track actually, but out of turn 6 we've got a really good run side by side with Dill down towards turn 7. I think we just outbraked him as well through turn 7, so there we go, up into 2nd position, and he crashes in fact behind. So that's probably one of my main competitors. Well, there's only really 3 of us fighting for the win, but main competitors out of the race. A Trellis warning there for me, but the Aprilia rider makes a mistake, and all of a sudden we're looking all over the back of him, but kind of a half little look up the inside we go. I'm actually going to get the position, not quite there, but took a half little look, backed out of it, but then I realised he went wide and tried to go for it, and in hindsight, I wish I'd just pushed for it. But cutting now to the end of the 2nd lap, going into the penultimate turn, and we have a massive, how are we still on the bike? Massive moment there through the penultimate turn, all the way out to the gravel. And at this point I was thinking, that's it, race over, because this guy was quicker than me. We've just chucked away 1.5 seconds, and cutting now to the start of the third lap into turn 2. Down he goes, he does a Jean Zarco, crashes out of the lead of that cold left-hand side of the tyre, and that promotes us up into first place. A big gap now, 4 seconds back to Dill. And here you are on the final lap of the race. That was pretty much it for my race. You can see Dill has closed massively up now, only 6/10 as we enter the last corner behind. But even still, that was it. After the guy crashed out the race, we had it in the bag and we just brought it home to the finish. So here we go then. An absolute turnaround from Bud. A race victory here in Qatar. Not the most interesting race. 1.7 seconds it was in the end. Fastest lap goes to Dill there. Nearly a second quicker than myself. But yeah, that's the kind of race we needed after losing those points, to be fair. And there you go. You see we've gained 64 points up to 1,198 now. So super close to going up to Bronze 1. So hopefully if we have another good race in the next one, we should get promoted up to Bronze 1. Cutting onto race number 3 now, and immediately you'll notice something pretty striking. We're using the Fabio Quartararo livery from Le Mans in this race here at Catalonia. It's a really nice mod, been recently released, but on our qualifying lap, someone goes down, yellow flag, yet again another invalid lap. Just my biggest gripe really with online is that the fact that the yellow flag rule, you're constantly losing laps, and you don't get long sessions either, you only get 10 minutes or so, and on my next lap, I make a mistake there. You can see on the entry to turn 9, try to open it up, touch the green, and lose my lap as well. So far, with not that long in the session left, we haven't got a lap in. We have got a lap in at this point, but 5.4 seconds off pole. We've only got 14 seconds. We're not towards the line. You can see we're several seconds underneath. That puts us up to P3 there, 1.7 seconds off pole position. So still not amazing, but at the end of the session, that is where we end up. Some really fast guys in this lobby. 37.4 is nothing to sniff at Catalonia. My time wasn't the best, but to be honest, we are on a big disadvantage on the Yamaha, because I do believe that in live GP it is actually the real performance, it's not balanced performance, because the Ducati seem very fast on the straights. But here we are then on the grid, waiting for the lights guy here at Catalonia. Lights out and away we go. A decent start, but the Ducatis all get better starts than me, so we're already down to 5th place. A gas as well. It is switching the Grassini guy now. I don't know what that factory Ducati was doing, pushing the Grassini down towards turn 1, but we're looking pretty aggressive up the inside into turn 1. Bit of contact with the Ducati on the outside there, but we've come out of that pretty well. 2nd place out of turn 1. Apologies to the Ducati on the outside, but nothing you can do when you're hard on the brakes. The bikes just don't turn, so I couldn't turn into the corner. He turned in, and obviously just turned into me, and I was just going straight because I couldn't turn the bike. But even still, a very good start for ourselves. We actually made a position up, which is pretty rare, and we're looking really racy on the back of this Francis King guy, to be honest. We're looking really, really fast. I mean, like I do say, I like to make moves early in these races, take the positions and sort of just try and pull away, or at least hold station, because I feel like on the first lap's your best chance. We both go a bit wide through the Repsol corner, but we've got a bit of a cutback on it. Are we going to have a go down towards turn 7? It's a tricky place to make a pass. On this occasion, not so much again. I think the Ducati straight on speed just helping him out. We lost the front a little bit there. He goes off the track on the green. Have we got the run now down towards turn 9, or up towards turn 9, should I say. Through turn 9, though, we weren't able to make a pass there, but can we try and carry the speed, use the Yamaha strength for turning? And out of turn 9 we go. We've got a really good slipstream down towards turn 10. For some reason we go around the outside, but on the brakes, really deep in there. Have we taken the lead of the race? I think we have. We've run really, really wide off the track. In fact, contact as we come back on the track. So we actually lose a position there. Well, we didn't really lose anything because we gained it and then lost it immediately there. But a bit of contact, so we tried to rejoin because he's gone really wide. Guy behind gets a track this one as well. So I imagine he got a bit sucked in, followed us. We're actually under investigation for that little bit of contact that there was at turn 10. I wouldn't really say anything too bad there because I was just trying to rejoin the track. But Freddie Spencer clearly disagrees. Incident there, a warning for that incident, but nothing to worry about too much as we cut now onto turn 5 of lap 2. And again, he runs wide, but this time I get a much better switchback, and we're really gaining on him out the corner. Down towards turn 7. Are we going to go for it? Up the inside we go. Yes, we do. Tried this one, apparently. I think we touched the grass, but so wide through turn 7. And what was that as well? Cutting back. The bike's so sluggish. I'm surprised we haven't lost a position to 3rd place, because look how much of a lead he's got. But 3rd place actually does come up the inside now. So Daniel Viola takes 2nd place away from us. So both the factory Ducatis now have moved ahead of us on this Yamaha. Cutting now about a lap later, you can see down towards turn 7. We're actually being dropped a little bit by them there. But there's a crash for the race leader. The race leader goes down, and that actually allows us to catch up to the 2nd place guy, who is now the new race leader because he lost a little bit of time. But cutting a lot later now, lap 7 of 8. Now, we've been basically trading fastest laps, and he makes a big mistake there. He clips the curb through turn 5, and now all of a sudden we're all over the back of him. We're trying to go around the outside down towards turn 7. He cuts us off there a little bit, very, very aggressive, but within his rights, he's perfectly in front of us. Are we going to get the run up towards turn 9? It doesn't look like we are on this occasion, and we actually go a little bit wide through turn 9. We braked a little bit too late. But yeah, as I was saying, pretty much the rest of the race after that initial incident was me and him just training fast laps. I was trying to keep on him. He was quicker than me. He was the guy on pole position. I was just trying to put in good lap times, put him under pressure, and it seems like he's starting to crack because he made a mistake at turn 5. He's made another mistake there at turn 10, ran really, really wide, and we're about to start the final lap of the race. So he's only got to hold on for one more, but it does look like he's starting to make some mistakes, and it's only got to be a small opportunity. Really, we just need to be close enough on the straight to slipstream past him, because the slipstream is so powerful on this game, even with the Yamaha against the Ducati. And into the final turn, he might have given us what we needed. He's ran so wide through the last corner. Surely now we are going to get the run on him. Ride our device down in the slipstream. Can we do anything? Here we go, we're gaining, still gaining, a little bit of contact there, but there we go, past him, up into the lead as we start this final lap. We take the lead. He also sits on the back there into turn 1. To be honest, I did take his line away from him a little bit, didn't mean to. I was just trying to move back to the normal racing line, but there you go, we've taken the lead for the first time on the start of the last lap. He gets a chance at 1 as well because he went so far off the track, but he's still there. You just saw his helmet in the back of shot, so we've got to defend on this final lap because he is super fast as we go into turn 4. What was that? Just completely rammed us out of the way. What was that move? And you can see there, he's taken the lead, but he's down now himself as well. He's high-sided. We've just been able to rejoin in front of him, but what a dirty move that was. I can't see that not being intentional because I don't know how you do that by accident. But fortunately, with his crash, we actually do end up winning the race. He had actually stayed on initially from the contact, but with him sort of touching the grass, high-siding on the exit, allowed us to retake the lead. Unfortunately, did allow us to get back through. And there you go on the standings. It doesn't actually show us the times. It just shows us points because it was a live GP championship race. And then you've got the actual overall championship as well. But one thing you'll notice is that we supposedly gained 64 points. So if you look at our total, it is still the same as it was at the end of the previous race. So Milestone, don't know if anyone from Milestone is watching this video. If you send it to someone from Milestone, you owe me some ranking points because I didn't get any ranking points that race, even though I won it and it said I gained ranking points. My total didn't go up because you can see we're still in bronze 2. So a little bit annoying, but not the end of the world, I suppose. So moving from the mixed emotions of Catalonia to Valencia now, and as you can see, qualifying started off really well as the autopilot actually crashed coming out of the pits. Seemed to be a bug at this track. You had to actually hold the rear brake on to stop it from happening. But here we are on our first lap. You can see exceeded the track limits there. Invalid lap straight away. Track limits, invalid lap. Fair enough. Can't argue with that one. But yeah, the autopilot thing was quite strange. And here we are actually coming towards the line with a valid lap this time. What's the time going to be? 1 minute 29.3. And at the end of the session, we actually did 28.8, so I think I was meant to put my quickest lap in there, but obviously I picked the wrong one out. But even still, we are 2/10 off then of pole position. Marking, you'll remember him from the first race. He was a guy on the private Ducati at, well, one of the private Ducatis at Bud that was on pole position on that occasion. So here we are then on the grid, waiting for the lights to go here at Valencia. Holding for quite a while. Are they actually ever going to go out? Lights out, and away we go. Pretty decent jump off the line, which is a bit of a surprise to me. But you've got a slipstream here off of Dill on the Yamaha. See, he's on the Fabio Yamaha. We go down towards turn 1. Dill dives up the inside. Contact between the two leaders. The Ducati cuts up the side of me. We cut back up the side of him. A little bit of contact on the exit, although our bikes did not nearly touch. I think, as per usual, it's a case of the massive hitboxes on the bikes. You can see also that guy that we did have contact with. I think he might have jumped the start because he had a long lap penalty, unless it was from impeding. But that was literally it for the race. A bit like in Qatar, nothing else really happened. You can see we're 16.7 seconds ahead of Dill behind now. Loads of crashes for the guys behind. And look at my pace, metronomic in the 28s every single lap pretty much. And as we're coming out the last corner then, it's going to be another win here in Live GP. We're doing really well this year actually compared to last year. Another victory there, another commanding victory as well. You see 17 seconds ahead of Dill, 20 seconds ahead of the guy in third place. And then 39 seconds ahead of the guy in fourth. So yet again, another short and sweet one. Sometimes you do get these races. If you get clear on the first couple of laps, we're on the better bike, I suppose, as well. This time we gained 43 points. You can see our points actually have gone up by 43. So this time we actually got given our points. So still missing out on those points from Catalonia. But you know what? It doesn't matter too much. It's not too many points. And we finally got up into bronze 1. On to the final race of the video now though, and you can see we're here at Aragon, one of my least favourite tracks, and in qualifying we come out the pits behind someone, we make a bit of a cheeky pass into the last corner because I didn't want to get stuck behind him. We just both came out the pits at the same time, but I ran a bit wide through the last corner. He cuts back up the inside of me. Fair enough, I had to pick the bike up a little bit from him, but we get a good run out the last corner. Down towards the first corner. I was thinking at this point, this is it, we've got past him now. But on the brakes, he comes back up the inside of us, having a little bit of a mini race. Bit of contact there, because I thought it was going to go a bit wide. I thought it was going to cut underneath him. It's a bit of a mini race at the start of qualifying there. So unfortunately, our first lap has to be behind this guy. And you can see cutting later on this lap. We're in this stupid, he's actually pulled away from us, but for some reason, he just completely brake checks us on the straight. Then we hit him again, as I don't really know what I was doing there, to be fair. We hit him at the back. But then I ended up cutting the corner because I've been flustered by that. So, not sure what his issue was. Don't know if he was unhappy with the battling that we did at the start of the lap, but he just brake checked me for absolutely no reason there. But up towards the line on the lap that we did do that was valid. 1 minute 45.629. 7/10 off of the race leader, or the pole position man, should I say. And yeah, that's how it ended up at the end of the session. We just got passed by Mark King once again in this lobby. And we end up in P3, which we've been a few times so far in this video. It seems to be our favoured qualifying position. But yeah, not sure what's happening in qualifying with that guy there, but yeah, it just is what it is, I suppose. But the lights are on then, waiting for them to go out here for the final race of the week here at Aragon. Lights out and away we go. A pretty decent start from me. The guy on pole position got a terrible start, but actually then second phase to start, he gets a really good one into turn one. One Pramac completely wipes out the other one, or completely punts him wide anyway. So we get up into second position. We've gained a position, almost a crash there on the direction change into turn two. And it's a Repsol Honda rider in the lead. Somebody leaves, I think he was the guy on pole that's left the lobby, but up the inside we go of the Repsol Honda up into the lead of the race then. So some of the fast guys pushed wide out the way, and as per usual I'm going to try and take advantage, try and pull away, because that does seem to be a pretty winning strategy so far in live GP. Cutting a few laps later on though, and you can see it doesn't seem to have worked. Marking the guy that of course was really fast in qualifying is right up behind us now on lap 4 of the race. And he goes up the inside into the bus stop chicane. A bit of contact between the two of us. To be fair, having watched the footage back, I really should have picked the bike up there because he had enough alongside. So I do apologise if you are watching the video. I am sorry that I turned in on you. At the time I didn't realise it and I was just committing to the corner, but because he'd had a look, I think, a couple other laps and not actually gone for it, so I wasn't expecting it to be fully there. But cutting now later onto the next lap, you can see he actually has to take a long lap penalty, and that's because he got a track limits warning for going off the track with our collision, and then obviously actually a warning for the collision as well. So I did feel a little bit bad about this when I saw the footage afterwards, because I didn't realise that my mistake ultimately, because I think it was my mistake turning in, it's actually made him have to serve a long lap. But in this position, 1.6 seconds, we were quick enough to be able to manage that gap. So at this position, we are actually in a position to win the race, but unfortunately we have a crash there. Again, on the change of direction, the front wheel comes up, you try and sort of turn it over, the front wheel hits the ground, the front folds, down you go. And unfortunately, that was it. We weren't able to respond after that one. But to be honest, I'm not too bothered because he deserved the race when he had the better pace than me. And of course, it was my mistake as he was making the pass that ended up getting him a long lap penalty in the first place. So there you go, a well-deserved win. And if somehow you are watching the video, mate, I do apologise. That is fully on me there at the bus stop because I should have gave you a lot more room. But I just didn't. I kind of already started to try and sweep through the corner, and it's so difficult to avoid it on this game. But you can see there then we gained 11 ranking points from that one. So the points we're gaining is getting less and less. I mean, at least we're actually getting them at this point. But of course, a second place there, 11 points. I think as we get through the ranks, it's going to be harder to gain any points at all. And if we don't win, we're probably going to end up losing some. But there you go then. Those are all the races that we did on Live GP this week. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that one. If you are new to the channel, please do like the video and subscribe because it really does help me out. And of course, it is a win-win for both of us as you get some more MotoGP 24 game content in your subscription feed. But I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.